everyone, and he wants to try and pretend to be organised with me. So I recently discovered just before New Year about bullet journaling, and I'm like, that's something that I've kind of been doing off and on in like a very basic version when it comes to organising my stitching and some of my reading and some of the things that I've done. I actually did it quite extensively for like the last half of 2020, and I found it really helpful, but it was quite a basic version. So I thought, let's give it more of a go this year, do it more intensively. And the book that I'm using is just a standard notebook, nothing fancy. And yes, this is Harry Potter. And I would just like to say that this does not mean that I condone anything said by anyone. It's just that it was a gift for Christmas. I did come with a one-shaped pencil, but I've chosen not to use it, and I just put a snitch keyring to try and make it a little easier for me to find it. It hasn't helped. I have this special gift at being able to put something down and poof, it vanishes. Sadly, it seems to run in the family. When I first set this up, I went off a very basic design because I didn't really know like what sort of things other people were doing. And then after I came up with like a battle plan for what I was going to put for my start of year pages and then what I was going to do for January, I very quickly realised, no, that's not going to be enough. So I've basically been planning my February spread since I started doing my January spread. I actually thought that I was probably going to use more pages in January than in February. No. So I thought I'll just throw everything at it and we'll see what sticks and what doesn't. Because after all, this is all experimentation, which is another reason why I'm just using a notebook that I was given instead of getting an actual dotted page journal, which is something that I'm planning on doing soon because it's slightly annoying. Because if I can find an example, yeah, you can see, oh, it's Claire would let me, where the ink has bled through. Which is more than a little bit annoying. Now, not like the end of the world, but if I want to do like a really colourful spread, like on what I'm planning to do for my title page in this, then yeah, it's not really going to be any good. There's a few other things that I decided to change up, add in. To be honest, it was definitely a lot more adding. Really the only changes from what I already had in January going into February, because I have already planned this all out, is all on, what's it? This is my planning. And there goes some. But yeah, I've quite extensively planned this out, and I don't really need to feel bad about wasting paper because I only wrote on one side and I can happily give this to my kids and they'll go nuts with it. That'll make them very, very happy. But then again, I may just keep it to one side for a while till I fully settle down on what I want to do. Before I get too rambly, shall we get straight into it? I'll talk more after I finished.
So, time to get started, and I will say that doing this has actually been quite an education for me. As you can see, I'm not going straight into turning the blank pages in my notebook into pretty artwork because the pages are really thin. So if I was to try and use the felt tip directly onto the paper, it will bleed straight through. So I was actually able to get hold of these cheap sketchbooks from the range. If I can find it, I'll put a link down below if you're interested. They're actually blue sparkle covers. I had pre-drawn this out because I wasn't entirely sure as how well I'd be able to manage this. Plus plans kept changing as I was coming up with ideas on what to do. I decided to go for a basic colour palette for the front cover of blue and red. There was originally like a beigey brown colour that I was going to use to colour in like the cakes and that, but it would appear that my cats, who will be making a constant appearance throughout this, like to take off with my pens, and I still haven't found that brown, which is really annoying because I don't have one that's even close to it, because all the other ones that I've got are either like too brown or just meh. And this one was a perfect one for like the colour of cake pastry. Cake pastry? You know, the spongy parts of cakes. Oh yeah, the reason why I'm going so OTT on the birthday party cakey vibey thingy is because this month is mine and my little girl's birthday. They're actually very close together, so I thought, why the hell not? So as you can see, I've coloured in bits and pieces, not the whole thing, just bits and pieces, going over it using a Tombow Fukusuki hard tip pen. I think I said that right. This was actually my first time using the hard tip. I got a set of the soft and hard. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like the hard, because when you press it down to get the thicker line, it makes like an noise and I don't like it. I'm very sensory and I don't like the sound, so I will probably be sticking to the soft tip for pressing down from now on. But it made for an exquisite fine liner. Like, those lines are so teeny tiny, it's beautiful. So yeah, cut it out to create this lovely swirly diagonal line. I really like the flow of it. Oh yeah, and as you can see, I am listening to an audiobook while I do this. It's actually part 3 in a series, which is absolutely amazing. It is a bit hard work going, but so worth the payout. Oh, the end of the second book, wow. I actually got quite a large selection of secondhand Discworld books a while back, because I'm currently slowly working my way through them. And in it included the Wit and Wisdom of, I can't remember if it's of Terry Pratchett or of the Discworld, there's one or the other. And I just opened it randomly, and I ended up with this quote, which is from Moving Pictures. Inside every old person is a young person wondering what happened. Can you think of a better quote to go with this birthday celebration spread? Personally, I can't. Oh yeah, you're also about to witness a dum-dum moment on my behalf. But it's an okay dum-dum moment. Because remember what I was saying about if you put felt tip on these pages, it will bleed straight through? Well, yeah, I just realised what I was doing there. But it's okay, because on the previous page there's actually currently nothing there. I am going to put some photo highlights from January there. So on to the next one. This is going to be my monthly goals on this side. So far I'm only up to 5 goals. I'm still trying to see if I can think of anything else to put in. I didn't actually write them down at this point in time, I filled it in later. And also a photo highlight. This is 6x5, I think, size photo that I'm using. What I will probably end up doing, particularly going forward throughout the months, is editing it so that I can have more than one photo actually on the one piece of photo paper. Because, for example, in February there are 2 photos in particular that I really want to use. They're just too adorable, I couldn't pick between one and the other, so that's what we're going to do. Oh yeah, I've gone to town with stickers. With the old, you're not getting older, you are increasing in value. That's the wordy sticker. Oh wait, there's another one. Oh no, you're old. I hope you like stickers, you're going to see a lot of them this month. I'm planning something a bit more artsy for next month already. I will link the stickers down below. So I actually got them really cheap because I'm also doing this on a bit of a budget. A huge part of why it's not more artsy this month is because I can't afford more artsy supplies. But I get paid soon, so I'm going to treat myself and it's going to look pretty. So yeah, I've got my month at a glance, which I started off doing by measuring the distance when really I should just counted the lines. For the most part, it is 4 lines by 3 centimeters for these squares, except for the last one, which is 3 by 3. But there is space if I need to like write little notes elsewhere, if it won't fit. And for our stickers on this page, we've got It's Your Birthday, birthday cakes, It's Your Birthday, make a wish, many happy returns. And it's basically the same sentiment, just done in different ways. On the next page is one of the most depressing of spreads, the money overview. Because let's face it, no one really likes to look at their expenses because you never have as much in your account as you wish you did. The joys of being grown up. So for now I just threw in the dates because nobody needs to see my expenses. I don't need to see them, but I will. And on the stickers first, that cake one, it says, "It's time to adult." No, I rebel. Got "Let's Party" and "It's your day to enjoy your birthday." I did actually end up moving one of the stickers onto the other page to create some space to put on a bit of math. So I've got my cleaning schedule. I'm still working out exactly what I'm going to put everywhere. As you can see, I've got the calendar next to dailies, and I'm going to, in different pen colours, write out the different tasks. Well, I'll do it between different pen colours and also dotting in different areas for the tasks to show that I've done it. I have every other day, weekly, and every other week as well, with a little bee sticker. Beloved is a cross-stitch picture that I've been working on for far too long. I really need to crack on and get some work done. My goal is to try and do about 100 stitches a day. If I can do more, that's awesome. If I can't, that's life. Because let's face it, you always have more you want to do than hours in which to do it. So we shall do the best we can with what we have. And on the other side, I actually do a lot of reading. I would like to do more, but I have to sleep occasionally. So I've decided to do a top 10 spread. It's really top 11. Because I have what looks to me to be more of a cassette player than anything else. It's loosely based off a CD player I had when I was a kid, but it looks like a cassette player. And 10 blank books. So I'm going to write on the spines / on the cassette player the title of the book. So it really is top 11. Because I do like to listen to audiobooks. So hopefully I'll be able to get more than one audiobook in a month so then I can actually pick out a favourite. If not, never mind. Because to be honest, the audiobook I am listening to while I'm doing this, I have been on the go for a while. The next one to continue my epic readiness is my manga list. I have a lot of manga that I want to read, so I'm separating it out alphabetically, and I don't know if you can hear that, but I have a kitten trying to play with one of the kids' toys making a lot of noise. So yeah, I've written out the days of the week, and I'll put a title that starts with A and 1, B and 2, and so on and so forth. Obviously that's not going to do the whole month, and I also don't have a book for each letter, so if I miss one I can fit it into a slot. If I get a new one I can fit it into a slot. I did that this month. It's worked out really quite well for me. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, the big sticker said a little bit older, a lot more fabulous. Aren't we all? Next is my book, which is actually a bit of a middle finger to my dad, if I'm being honest, because apparently manga's not reading. So my book is Lords and Ladies by Terry Pratchett, which is the next one in the series. I'm currently reading Small Gods. I should get that finished in a day or two, hopefully in time for the end of the month, with a little slot at the very bottom for audiobooks. What I'm going to do is each day I'm going to write down what page I'm on. I'll probably also work out roughly how many I need to read just to finish the book by the end of the month. Hopefully I'll actually get this finished and then on to the next one. The next bit, we have my temp / blanket, because I'm actually crocheting a temperature blanket, so I need to know what the day temperature is. I'm only going to go off the highest temperature of the day. So I need to know that, and the slash is because for every 5 degrees it's a different colour yarn. So I've got space to put in the degree on the top and then what the corresponding number of yarn is for the bottom. apparently it looks like a Slytherin scarf. Well, it did for the first half of the month. It started to look a bit different. And the other one is actually going to be a weight tracker, because sadly due to my various ailments I need to shifty the baby weight. Okay, next one is my mood tracker. And what I've decided to do is well, as you can see, I started off by doing 28 little swirls on the paper just to make sure that I had room to do each one. And I have a mixture of cupcakes and muffins, however you want to look at it, and cake slices. And I'm going to colour it in different colours depending on my mood. I haven't fully decided if I'm going to have like all the icing one colour, the top of the muffins all one colour, the wrapper of the muffins all one colour, the actual cakey slicey all one colour. What I think I'll probably do though is I will colour in the muffin wrapper and cakes, the actual cake part of the cake slices in for my moods, and then when it comes to the icing, I think I'll leave that white. I'll either leave it white or just pick out a random colour or something, but to be honest I'll probably leave it white. For the muffins, I might actually go for a colour that will work well with it. For the muffins, I think I'll go with the wrapper of the muffin. And for the actual top of the muffin, I'll either do it like a brown. Might actually like decorate the muffin, which will also be like a good way to show like how my day is going by how decorative it is. Or if I'm having one hell of a day, I'm just going to colour in the muffin. Okay, the next page is going to be my stats page. I'm covering 4 main topics on this one, which is stress, anxiety, pain and health. Because as I've already alluded, I'm not the most well at the moment. And I keep having what I laughably refer to as sick days, where basically I'm bedbound for the day. So I just want to track that one, see how many sick days I'm actually having, and hopefully as I make little changes in my life, that number will go down. But here's where I made a critical mistake. In my infinite wisdom, I didn't really plan out these boxes and it didn't really work. At that point my phone basically died, so this is the next day. I opted to cut out the page and start again. And during the day I actually managed to pick up these little tearaway calendars. Did anyone else when they were at school seem to do like 1,000,001 different art projects that used these little calendars? Like a quarter of the budget of my school must have been on these calendars. I swear we're using them like every other day. But this is the first time I've actually used one. So yeah, ripped off the February, trimmed off the rough bits, gluing them in with my glue tape thingy. And I'm just going to do a little spladger colour to show. I'm going to do it like a traffic light system to show good, bad, meh. Oh yeah, and I was a little sarcastic with one of these stickers, because in between stress and anxiety we have a little bee that says be happy. Oh yeah, it also has one of my favourite little cake stickers of free cake, I mean happy birthday. Next page! On this one we've got, as you may or may not be aware, I do jigsaw videos. So I've got, the top one is going to be my jigsaw puzzles, the middle one is my social media stats, and the bottom one is my YouTube videos. So with the bottom one we've got what the video is about, so I'm obviously going to write down this one as a plan with me. If it's a full or a time lapse, this one will be classed as a full because, you know, there's an intro and an exit. Some major series of time lapse. We've got uploaded and how it was received in the first week. Next one we've got YouTube subs and views. Instagram, TikTok, and likes. Because it's actually quite interesting to see how the same video is received differently in different areas. And the top one is jigsaw name, brand, account, and dates. Okay, on the next side, this is actually probably going to be my little girl's favourite page, so I'm going to have to be very careful about letting her see it, because she's currently obsessed with the Duolingo owl. I may end up having to get her the plushie for her birthday. So, as you can see, I am using 3 of these little calendars. By the way, they're 25p each. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I got 8. I'm glad I did, because I've used, what, 7. So yeah, Duolingo. Because I'm currently learning 3 languages, including Japanese and Welsh. And by the way, how cute is that little Duolingo owl? I'm so happy I was able to find a picture of him with a cake, because I don't know how well I would have been able to draw that myself. I think that came out beautiful. So, as you may or may not be aware, something that I have actually been doing is national days. I found a place online where they tell you what the national days are. For the most part, they're American national days, but there's actually loads for each individual day, so I just pick out whichever one catches my eye. Like, say that there's 5, I will either go with one that I find funny, one that resonates with me, or just one that I find interesting. And tell you what, I've actually learned a lot in doing my national day videos. There's a lot of stuff that's been around a hell of a lot longer than you would expect. But yeah, done that as a Dutch door to make it go a little bit further. And then on to the next bit. We're doing another Dutch door. Count them Dutch doors. This is number 2. This is for my something good. And I have to say that since I started doing this, I have actually found an improvement in my mood. Because it's like, as the name says on the tin, something good. Because I really do think that even on your worst day, you can still find something happy. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be something amazing like, I won the lottery, wow! It could be something as simple as, I don't know, I've fixed the broken light. Still a positive. You fix something, that's good. You know, it's not going to change the world, it's not going to make things amazing, but it's still something good on a bad day. Because I think that it's too easy to focus on the bad in life and let the positive run away from you. Like, take retail for example. I think a lot of us have worked in retail. You can recognise the face of a bad customer, no problem. But the good ones take a little longer for you to recognise, because sadly the bad sticks. Okay, this page we have walkies. Oh, previous page, it's already flipped through, sorry. We have walkies, because I'm trying to walk 250k a month. So I can put down my daily stats. And also shopping is the rest of the page. But let us celebrate as a sticker. Next one. You keeping track of them Dutch doors? Because this is number 3. We have my tracker, and this is going to seem absolutely insane to most people. Oh yeah, and prepare for a jump, because my phone kept cutting out on me. Undated. Oh, by the way, I'm actually wearing a shark onesie, if you're wondering, because it was absolutely freezing in that room. So, I've actually given myself 24 little lines, which seems a little extreme, I know, but it's little teeny tiny things. It's nothing massive, and my goal is to try and get half done in a day. If I don't, oh well. If I do, yay. If I get them all done, amazing. But I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't get them all done. Oh yeah, and I used the Tombow do the tracker, and I wish I had sketched that out because there was a bit of a big gap. Happy birthday, way to make me feel old. Okay, so time for my first weekly spread, which has got the last little bit of January in it. I decided to go for these rounded rectangles for each day across a 2-page spread. I just used my normal fine pen to write in February, spelt correctly. And for the individual days, I opted to use these muffin stickers. No, stick with the cakey theme. I love those little gingerbreads at the bottom. But to make it easier to write on the day, I use a little bit of the Tipp-Ex, roll-on Tipp-Ex, so then I could write on easy. I did, not that it will show up, but I did actually go back and do another little line so that I can actually put on the first letter of the day of the week. And on the next page we have the lovely depressing spending tracker. And I did something very similar, but with this one I used the stars and the one heart cookie that I had. And we've got another quote page. So much universe and so little time, by Terry Pratchett again. And it will say so. I spotted the missing so later, but it will say it all in there. And I remembered that I hadn't actually accredited the quote at the beginning to anyone or anything, so I went for that. Quick little flicky through just to make sure that everything's where I wanted it. And now we have a so review. Compared to some people, this is still quite a basic bullet journal. This is a lot more intensive than what I had for January, and potentially even less intensive than what I will have in February, because I'm planning on evolving this as I go through. I may even show this all filled out at a later date. But I'm really looking forward to starting this, getting more colourful, filling all these blank pages in, like finding out what these national days are, what the little something good is every day. The rest of the quotes in the book probably won't all be Terry Pratchett, to be honest, but we'll see. But I've got to say, this was actually quite fun to do. I think it's come out quite well. So I shall return to the main video.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and pretend that I'm a great artist or anything, because I'm not. But I am quite happy with how this has turned out. I really love the shape of this, and there's no way in hell I could have done all this on this paper without it totaling the next page. Which, with this being my goal page, I do want it to be usable. It's not like when I realised that was going to bleed through. Right, it's like fine, because I'm going to stick photos here, so it's not the end of the world. For the most part, I'm very happy with how this has turned out. I can't wait to start using it. There's already like one or two things that I'm going to do a bit differently when I do get a proper dotted journal, because this has just eaten up my page count. I'm well over halfway. I counted it. I can't remember if I had 1 or 2 months left in here, but I think I will move into the dotted journal fairly quickly. Then I can be more expressive and not have to mess about with bits of paper. I don't mind too much messing about with stickers. It's the whole cutting and gluing. It gets annoying, but we'll see. I hope you didn't get too bored of all the happy birthdays. I may get slightly bored of seeing happy birthday like every page this month. Even though I did put some planning into what I was going to do for this, this has definitely turned out better than I expected. Because really when it came to the plan, it was more just a basic layout. I didn't really over work out what I was going to do with like this page in particular. My weekly, where as you can see I've used the Tipp-Ex to be able to write on the stickers without having to worry about it smudging off or anything. And I promise my handwriting will be improving because I am doing calligraphy lessons, so that will get better. I do definitely think that this is something that I'm going to be able to stick with going forwards, and I have found it so helpful in January to not only help me keep track of things, but to help motivate me. Particularly with all my health issues, it's definitely helped me to just battle through a little bit more, you know, push myself just a little harder without actually like breaking. Because the last thing I need to do is like push myself to breaking point, particularly with the 2 little kitty wings. But I already have a few ideas on what theme I'm going to use next month. let me know what theme you guys are going to use or what theme you would like to see. I may do one more month in this book, maybe. It does seem like a bit of a waste to just cut it off so soon. I think I'll do at least one more. Like I said, I can't remember if there is room for 2. I may just do 1. But yeah, if you haven't already started doing bullet journaling, go for it. The fact that the year's already started doesn't really matter. Just go with it when you can. Don't stress about it. I'm just really enjoying this. I'm really looking forward to getting that proper dotted one where I can just go to town with my markers and not have to worry about knackering my pages. Anyway, I don't think I really have anything much left to say, because everything else was being said in the voiceover. So, I'll see you next month for the next plan with me. If I don't see you before, be it through either my stitched jokes, and yes, I'm aware some of them were awful, the dad jokes are meant to be, or my national days. Just a silly little bit of fun. But I'm actually finding it quite educational. But yeah, if I don't see you in either of them formats beforehand, I will see you next time. Oh yeah, and I also have my puzzle videos, which I'm planning on doing more of. You know, serious life, let's go. So anyway, I'll see you all later. Thank you for stopping by. Adios.